Hey everyone, this is my out-of-theater reaction for Eli Roth's Borderlands, the cinematic adaptation of Gearbox's video game series. And I'm not going to lead you on with this one. This movie is absolutely atrocious through and through. If you're a Borderlands fan, do not go see this movie. Your time is better spent elsewhere. There's so many better video game adaptations out there right now. Or just honestly, just play the Borderlands video games. You know, I have some familiarity with Borderlands video games. I played, I would say, the majority of them. I played 1 back in the day. Played 2, loved 2, played a little bit of 3, didn't really care for that one too much. I love Tales from the Borderlands. I also like the pre-sequel as well, Borderlands the pre-sequel, but this movie, I mean, the writing was on the wall, guys. It was on the wall. This movie was announced, what, 10 years ago? Nearly a decade ago? Avi Arad was named the producer. He's producing this movie. Avi Arad, the bloated, pus-filled Hollywood producer who just waddles from project to project. He puts as much effort into producing movies that he does into his next bowel movement. He's the albatross, the bloated, pus-filled albatross that has been hanging on Spider-Man's neck for 30 years. The guy is truly terrible, and usually what he ends up producing, unless he's wrangled and controlled, turns out to be pretty terrible. He could care less about the properties that he's adapting. And Eli Roth, man, you talk about... The only reason Eli Roth has the career that he does is because he's managed to attach himself. He's managed to embed himself like a tick into infinitely more talented people than him, like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. And, you know, outside of maybe Thanksgiving, and I haven't seen a House of a Clock in its Walls, although people tell me that movie's, you know, actually pretty good, one of his better films. The rest of his filmography is awful. And so it's like, everything about this, the announcement, who is producing it, from the director, is like, this is just not looking good. And the movie is not good. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a Borderlands adaptation, but it's just borrowing from so many other movies that we've seen before, poorly, I might add. It is yes, it's very much a Guardians of the Galaxy knockoff, without any of the charm or heart or thrills that James Gunn and his collaborators managed to put into those movies. Just the characters themselves, who all the characters are miscast across the board. The only person who is doing like a half-decent job, who I think is okay, is fine for what they're given, is Cate Blanchett. She plays the character of Liv. She's pretty much our lead in the movie. But outside of her, from Jamie Lee Curtis to Kevin Hart, can't believe they cast him as Roland, to Ariana Greenblatt, to everyone else, they just feel uncomfortable in this movie. And probably the most annoying character, although this probably comes as no surprise to people who are familiar with the property, is Claptrap, you know, who is not voiced by the video game voice actors who have gone on to voice him, but Jack Black. And I like Jack Black, but here, again, he's giving absolutely nothing to do or funny to say. Claptrap is like a Jar Jar Binks level character. He's just annoying. He's grating. Every joke that he has is a dud. It's groan-inducing. And you just go from scene to scene with him just doing something quote-unquote funny. And you're just like, God, just please, just pan over to one of the other characters. Let's focus on them. But then you're reminded how terrible they are. All of the big set pieces in this movie are bad as well. Like, the CGI is shockingly awful. It feels like it's 20 years old, which doesn't make any sense. The movie has a $120 million budget. So why does the CGI look as bad as it does? I mean, honestly, I would have preferred, I think it would have been amusing if they just had like the mocap actors in their mocap suits and just the green screens all around and made a parody. The making of the Borderlands movie within the Borderlands movie itself. That would have been better. And then it's just, you know, it's a bare bones story. You just go from point A to point B to point C. Lilith's recruited by this guy, find this thing, find this girl, and everything is like, okay. And then hijinks ensue. They go on their adventure, and the adventure is, there's nothing thrilling about it. There's nothing fun about it. These characters, even though these actors are, you know, individually talented, although some more talented than others, certainly, like Cate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis, they just, nothing about them feels authentic or real. And most of the time, they're just kind of dull or, in worst cases, annoying, like Jack Black's, you know, Claptrap. But yeah, this movie is incredibly disappointing. The only positive thing I could say about it is that it did at least make me forget about M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, which I saw last week, which is another awful movie so far this year. So I thank you, Borderlands. Thank you, Eli Roth and Avi Arad, for making me forget about that trash that M. Night Shyamalan made. Oh my God, featuring his daughter. That whole film is just a showcase of nepotism. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Borderlands is terrible. Avi Arad is just a bloated, massive man who is a hacker producer. Eli Roth is, you know, a wannabe filmmaker. And I think they would do everyone a favor if they just retire and just you know, disappeared into the ether itself. And that's what's most likely going to happen to Borderlands. People are going to mock, people are going to make fun of it, and it deserves all of that mocking. But you know, years from now, it's going to be like, oh yeah, that movie that was really bad that everyone forgot about. So yeah, that's my odd theater reaction for Borderlands. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll do my full review soon. Bye bye.